Hello and welcome back to the second to last Walking Dead Wednesday as we review...
Family.
Yeah, the episode was called Family, and do you know what? It felt like
so
family.
Yeah.
It
felt like season 5, them walking along together as a group. That's how it felt.
It gave me vibes of just... It was just good vibes until the end. And then it ruined my life. No. But yeah, so essentially the episode, what were your initial thoughts on it when you finished it?
I loved it. I actually sent Ethan a video of me just like crying.
Yeah,
That's how I felt about it.
It was just such a good episode.
So good.
Just from beginning to end, there was not a single scene that I was
from
like...
start to finish.
I don't think there's... You know what you're doing. But yeah, so it was just such a great episode. And obviously the introduction, the little Judith monologue, was really about them as a family and fighting.
She was talking about Laurie, Carl, Shane, Rick. And, like, everyone was picking their weapons out of a box and then, like, cut to, like, clips of them fighting. It was so good.
It was just so... It felt so wholesome in, like, in the fact that it was getting us to remember all the good things about these people.
And Judith passed the hat.
She did.
RJ.
She passed the hat to RJ, which was an interesting decision and which scares me a little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit. But yeah.
I'm assuming that he is staying with Nabila because she wasn't with the group.
Yeah, so I'm assuming
at
Nabila...
At the end, I went through everyone that wasn't there. And then I went, wait, they're at Alexandria. So they would have stayed at Alexandria.
I
was like, they would have just stayed there.
There was a lot of people that stayed. I think... Because what did confuse me is at the start of the episode, we saw Judith packing up and...
She took the
Constitution with her. Which was interesting because we haven't actually seen that since the Pike scene. Because that's where that was the episode when they signed it.
We don't talk of such things out
loud. But we haven't seen it since then. And I thought it was an interesting thing to bring with you and take away from Alexandria.
I was like, why are you taking that?
It was a weird moment.
The Commonwealth?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a bit strange. But I think the stranger thing was that they just appeared in Alexandria.
The children?
Yeah.
I thought the children were there in the children's room.
Well, I was under the impression...
They were just looking for Coco. That's why they kept looking. And they found all the other children.
So I was under the impression that they'd searched everywhere and only found Maggie's son.
Oh.
That was what I was under the impression of.
When I saw them, that's what I made
Yeah, because they told us where Coco was.
Yeah.
They told us that she was in, like, some children's home in the Commonwealth. Which I thought that's another really weird... But I'm guessing if the children are old enough to have their own sort of opinions on things, then they're not going to want to go in a children's home. Because they've grown up in the apocalypse, they want to fight. And whereas, like, Coco's still a baby. So I think that's the reason.
The only bit that I didn't like about this episode, and it's really random, is why did Father Gabriel and Rosita have this really cute conversation about, like, how they will find their child? Babe, it's not yours.
Yeah, but they've raised him.
No, I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like Rick isn't Judith's dad, but it's still his child. I'm just spitting straight facts. So yeah, whilst everyone was getting ready to go, Judith said that she wanted to go with them, which I thought was a very stupid decision, but we move, it's fine.
And then they all just let her.
And Carol was just like, sure. And we know Carol's track record with children. So I probably wouldn't have trusted her to make that decision. But we move. So yeah, ultimately the episode led to them going to the train and driving the train? Yeah. Driving the train?
Driving a train?
Can you drive a train?
No, I can't.
What's the word? It's not driving a train. It's conducting.
You conduct a train?
I don't know. Anyway, so we have some random conversations on these. So essentially the episode led them to the train yard, which was interesting.
And that guy was there from the party.
He was in the last episode.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
He was the guy that they were trying to get on side. Like the ginger guy. Not the ginger guy. Not that guy. The guy that they were in the canteen with. And Ezekiel and Negan were trying to talk to him.
Right.
That's who it was. That was the guy from the party. The guy who, like, tried to hold... Was it Connie hostage? They tried to hold someone hostage. Oh, it was Stephanie. They tried to hold Stephanie. Oh, no, Max. Her name is, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, they all change names. It's really weird. But essentially, they were on the train, and there were some really nice conversations. We had a really nice conversation.
The train's conversation was good.
Yeah, there was a really nice conversation between, obviously, Gabriel and Rosita. That was really cute.
Princess and
Mercer.
Yeah, that was so cute.
That's so cute.
And he called her his girlfriend.
I know. We'll get onto that in just a second because that happened towards the end of the train section. But there was also a conversation. Ezekiel and Negan.
That was it.
Ezekiel and Negan, I think, get the award for the best conversation in the episode. Because Negan... So, I think Negan said something, and Ezekiel... Like, he wanted to know why, basically. Why did he stick up for him? And Ezekiel basically went on his... I survived the dead, and yet I smile. And he did his and yet I smile speech. And I thought it was really powerful.
I really liked it.
I thought it was incredible.
And Maggie was listening.
And Maggie was in there listening, and Negan then said, the reason I did that is because you're all better people than me. And if someone's going to be taken out, it deserves to be me. And I want to make sure that my family
had a better story to tell than the ones you're saying.
Yeah,
liked.
I thought that was a really, really cool line when he basically... He was like, I want my family to be able to tell a better story of me than the ones you've been telling. And I was like...
Which, I mean...
when the wording of that last bit was a bit weird because it makes it sound like they're making them up, the stories.
Yeah,
but
they're not
rather
babes.
than... I think...
Is,
I liked the sentiment of the line.
He's the villain because we've been seeing it from Rick's side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what... He wants a different story.
So I think it was a really, really nice moment, and that shot, because we didn't know that Maggie was there that entire time, and then there was a shot of her face, and I think that's when she realised.
Yeah.
And I think this whole season, she's been spending a lot of time with Negan, getting to know him and finding out how he functions, and I think now she understands him better, and now I can see how their spin-off is going to work.
Yeah.
I can see how that's going to function, which is going to be interesting. So meanwhile at the Commonwealth, Mercer, that's the one. I was going for Max Mercer, but I meant Mercer. Mercer hid Eugene in Max's flat, and then was like interrogating Yumiko. And
with,
then
some stormtrooper woman.
Yeah, with some woman that had been like commanded by Pamela to like keep an eye on him. And what did you think about that whole section?
I think that Mercer is very clever, but he's also very dumb. Like he needs to learn how to act. Because he was not playing that interrogation the way that you would have played it if the tensions are high here.
Yeah,
and he wasn't playing
weird.
it to that extreme.
Yeah, it was quite odd. I thought it was going to go a different route to the way it went.
And then when he was like, yeah, you can just go.
Yeah, he basically just let her go. So, and then that's when he had that conversation with Princess. And found out that they were going to sneak back into the Commonwealth to take out Pamela. And what did he say? I wrote it down, I think. I can't remember what he said. He said something. Oh, it was when she was like, we're going to take out Pamela. Are you okay with that? And he went, yeah. And I was like,
yeah, I like that
yes!
bit. Yeah, I like that bit.
We love you, Mercer.
Yeah, he has some great lines recently.
I've just remembered another conversation that happened on the train. The one with Judith, Carol, and Daryl, where she spoke about Rick, Michonne, Carl, and then Daryl was like, when this is all over, I'm going to tell you the stories about the people we've lost.
Which is why I'm saying about my theory.
Okay,
He's
we'll
gonna
get
tell
to your theory in a minute. We'll get to your theory in a minute.
That's why no.
But oh my goodness, that line was just, it kills me off.
Yeah.
So I wanna jump a little bit
group.
to a different group. Do you know what group I want to jump to?
Are we going to my favourite?
Yeah, your fave. We're going to your fave. So we discovered that we'd thought this, and we'd been wondering this for a while, whether the Commonwealth has been luring walkers to the Commonwealth to scare the citizens, and they did it at the start of this season during lockdown.
Yeah.
And I thought that was weird, and I thought it was a very strange thing to do, the lockdown, but it makes sense now because obviously they were luring the walkers to the Commonwealth, and amongst those walkers were Jerry, Aaron, Elijah, Luke,
girlfriend,
Jules, Lydia. And they kept trying to split off, but then more and more walkers kept joining, and then they saw an RV and were like in there, and I was like, this isn't gonna go well. I think what they should have done is they should have looped around. No, I would have looped around the front, and then waited there for the walkers to pass and then gone in.
Oh yeah.
Because that would have made more sense than trying to get in whilst the current of walkers is still. And then I was like, why didn't Elijah, and Luke and Jules just walk around?
Yeah.
Because the walkers, I don't think, were going on the other side of the caravan until they made all that noise. Stupid. So it was confusing, but essentially, Jules got swept away. So Luke went after her, and then Elijah started getting swept away, and Lydia was already in the RV, and so she
decided to come out.
She tried to hold on to his hand, and then a walker bit her arm. Now, we haven't had someone get bitten and...
For a while.
Yeah, for a long time.
Like.
No. We haven't seen them get bitten and survive it.
Oh.
In a while.
I was going to say...
the last... when... It was really weird because Aaron was like, oh, this happened to me, and
I'm pretty sure he was the last person to have that done.
He didn't get a walker bite. His hand was crushed. His arm was crushed.
Yeah, true. But at that moment, it's not going to explain that it was crushed by a tree, is it?
Well, yeah. But there was a really cute moment where she was panicking and she was trying to go after Elijah, and he was like, you can't, like what if he dies? What if he dies? I need to be there for him. And they were like, well, you can't be there for him if you're dead. And I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I thought it was really cute that she cared more about Elijah than herself.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. I think Lydia's been one of those characters that I wasn't warm to her at the start.
Yeah.
But she's had such a tragic life. She's lost her mum. She lost her dad. She lost any semblance of normality because she went through so much trauma. Yeah. I don't know if you know in the comics. Do you know what happens to her in the comics? Why she's so traumatized?
Maybe.
So she's passed around.
Oh, no, I've had this.
Yeah. And they decided not to do that on the show.
Because the only one that hasn't done it is the one that gets killed when she gets captured. Her friend.
Yes. Yeah. And it's obviously traumatizing in the comics, but then a lot of other stuff happens in the comics, like Carl and her have sex, and she has a very different attitude to sex, whereas in the show they cut all of that out, and I'm glad they did, because I think they've made Lydia a more sympathetic character, because in the comics she's not. She's very out there, loud, and in the show she's very self-contained, and I think it makes a more compelling character. So there was a moment where she was panicking, and he literally, Aaron grabbed her and went, "You are so loved," and I almost wept.
I think I did.
I was struggling to control my emotions there, and then they obviously cut her arm off. As far as we're aware, she's fine. I don't really know how they're gonna sterilize the wound or whatever, stop her from bleeding. But I feel like she's gonna die. I don't want to be that person, but
she's stuck in a caravan
with Aaron.
Full stop. Surrounded by walkers.
Oh yeah, Jerry left.
Jerry just left.
Jerry left to go find Elijah.
Because and then why wasn't he?
Right, we'll get to that in a minute, because we're jumping ahead a little bit.
Sorry.
But yeah, so the problem arose with that group because they tried to get into the RV whilst everything was moving and it just didn't work. But yeah, the ones that we care about made it into the caravan or into the RV. The rest of them, but we do find out what happens to some of them later, so we'll come to that a little bit later. But then, so with the walkers, Mercer was called to the wall to like fortify it, and then shut up, we're not in Game of Thrones.
Sorry.
And then one of the walkers climbed onto one of the buggies and caused it to crash. That was such a cool moment. That was really cool. I know we shat on it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
I know we really sat there.
But now
and
I
it was shit.
understand why they put it there.
I understand why they gave us a teaser, because what happened in this episode with the climbers was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so incredible.
It was I actually was scared.
Because Mercer was then arrested for treason.
Yeah.
At the same time as so he'd called away people from Tunnel H, which is how they were going to get into the Commonwealth, our group, the train people. And they managed to get into Union Station, but they found it chained up. And that's because Pamela had worked out that Mercer was betraying them. And so she had them chain up Union Station, and they got ambushed there. But before we talk about the ambush, Mercer was arrested for treason, and then everyone that took over from him seemed to be very incompetent because they literally watched walkers climb up the wall and went, "Oh my god, they're climbing now," and didn't bother to check around them to see whether anybody else had been climbing up.
No, he was speaking to his phone, telling everyone else.
No, I know. And then he got bitten, and then he accidentally knocked the door controls and opened the gates and let all the walkers into the Commonwealth.
Good job.
And this is where I decided that Pamela is not
a sad person who's
hold
crying
on.
about his...
We've missed a bit because we have to go to the Union Station now.
No, we don't. We can just talk about Pamela for like 2 seconds.
Okay, so Pamela had done something.
Pamela
had done something at Union Station, and I feel like she was feeling very amped up and anxious about it because she knew that she fucked up.
I think that Pamela, a few episodes ago, you were like, she's just like, she was nice, and now her son's dead, so she's going a bit
bit
and
crazy.
I said, no, I don't think that's not correct because of the way Lance spoke to her. This is what I meant by she's...
I agree. I agree now, and I agree purely because of the scene where she was speaking to the one of the guards, like the woman guard, that she'd asked to follow Mercer, and it was the same guard that arrested Mercer for treason, and Pamela basically said to her, "Pull your forces back, protect the estates." And I was like, in my mind, estates are like council estates. So I was like, oh, so she's protecting the people. But then it dawned on me that in America they call estates the rich people. And so she was essentially saying, protect me and the other rich people. Don't protect the common folk. Yeah. Let them die. And that's when I realised, oh shit.
Very good, very nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And that's what obviously the conflict of next episode is. Obviously, the Commonwealth is now overrun with walkers. There are 50,000 people living in the Commonwealth who are can't fight. They just physically cannot function outside of this idealistic
literally, it's awful
place.
And we're not gonna get a cool little Gabriel speech about how God has given them the courage to save it. Alright, they're all just gonna die.
Yeah. So Eugene, just really quickly about Eugene.
Yeah, basically they all came. The stormtroopers came to search the apartment. So Eugene killed him. Well, knocked him out. Don't know if he killed him. And then Eugene
dipped
basically, and ended up outside
Union Station,
which is where
Yumiko and Max met up with him.
When they were meeting up with the group.
When they were meeting up with the group. But Union Station,
Oh, yeah.
right.
Let's talk about it.
What did we think of the scene at Union Station? Because I think it might be one of my favourite scenes of The Walking
scene
Dead.
ever. Before the end happens, with them all like sliding down and like moving. Oh, it's so cool.
Right, so essentially they walk in and they're like, this is a trap. This is a trap.
All of the doors
Something's
are locked.
wrong. All the doors are
Chained up.
locked. So essentially they're stuck. And then the guy that was at the party, I think his name's Tyler.
Yeah,
Him and a couple of other people, other expendable characters, get shot straight away, just mutilated. And that's when everyone starts taking cover, sliding under benches, ducking under staircases. It was genuinely probably one of the most action-packed scenes we've had in a while. Because the last couple of seasons have been very sort of Walker Whisperer based, where they can't really have these high intensity battles because with guns and stuff. But here they did, and it was so good.
And it wasn't like 3 or 4 people; it was like a whole group of them.
Yeah, and at one point, they were picking off the guards at the top one by one. There was a really cool moment where this guy was crawling towards Connie and Kelly, and he just got shot, and we were like,
Connie, pull your hand back now.
Literally, get your hand out of there. And then another interesting part was when Pamela walked out. And I thought Pamela was going to get shot there, but she didn't. She picked up one of the guns.
Did.
Yeah, the person next to her did, and she picked up his gun and
tried to shoot Maggie.
Which
is obviously not great.
Which is not great. And a certain character saw this, pushed her out of the way, and got shot instead. And that character...
I'm just so upset.
The one character I thought was safe.
Yeah, literally.
Judith Grimes.
Do you know what would have been really good? Sorry, but this is like... If she got if she got shot, the same place that Carl and Rick got bit and shot.
Rick wasn't bit.
No, but Carl was.
Carl was bit on his when he was shot, yeah.
But he was bit in like a similar place to where
Well,
Rick was
to be
shot.
fair, we don't actually know where she got shot.
So here.
Was it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. But it was just such a shocking moment, and then Daryl was like, "No!" And then everyone just went ballistic to the point where they had to both groups had to retreat. And Pamela had this amazing moment on the balcony where she tried to say something, and then she just it was a guttural scream of "You did this." She was like, "You did this!" And then she left, and that's why she then goes, "Protect the estate."
I thought she was going to say
Judith,
because that's what I thought she was going to shout.
What, Judith?
Yeah.
I don't think she knows who Judith is.
No, but that's what I thought she was going to say.
Oh, right.
And then she says, "You did this."
But it was such a shocking moment. And then obviously we saw the scene where Pamela basically said divert the walkers through the communities to slow them down so that you have time to pick them off. And I was like, fucking hell. And then as our group was escaping, so I think our group is all together now apart from Jerry, Aaron, Lydia, Elijah. Okay, so whilst they were running out with the walkers, so they started to fence the walkers in and divert them around to the same place where our group was. So our group was just trapped. And then out of the walkers came Luke and Jules, and I was like, okay, where's Elijah?
Because he wasn't that far behind you.
He really wasn't. He was like a couple of walkers behind.
Yeah.
And then Jerry left a long time afterwards, so I'm not surprised he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But where's Elijah? That was what really confused me, was that one bit.
And where is Jerry going?
To find
Alexandria?
them. No, to find them.
Oh.
He was following the herd to go find them.
He went to get help.
No. Why would he go to Alexandria? They don't know that. They don't know anything that's happened at Outpost 22, any of that stuff, do they? Or they don't know that they went to Outpost 22. They don't know they went to Alexandria. All they know is that Oceanside has been taken over by the Commonwealth. That's all their knowledge at the moment.
Yeah.
They don't know anything.
They haven't been there yet.
Because they haven't been there. So they don't know. So why would they go back to Alexandria? Yeah, he's gone to the Commonwealth.
I forgot that they hadn't been there.
that whole thing was just like the ending. They basically Daryl was trying to get Judith out, and they found a narrow gap in an alleyway, and the entire group was just hacking and slashing at these walkers to let them through. Did you notice when Daryl and Judith were running through, Rosita, her entire time she was looking at them, and then as soon as she saw they made it to the alley, she turned back and started fighting again. Like, she was fighting but not looking at the walkers she was fighting.
Like,
I thought that was a really interesting.
Can you just pay attention to what you're doing? Alright, I'm not in the mood. Like, yeah, okay, I love you, but also I'm not in the mood for it.
It was just such a perfect way to end the episode. And I think,
and the fact that when Judith says what she says, she then looks back and all you can see is Negan, and then the walkers close.
Yeah, so the walkers just overtake,
which is interesting because I would say that Negan and Daryl are her like father figures.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
And then she says the thing.
Yeah, and what was my other thing that I wanted to say? Oh, the moment where the walkers are coming and then one of them climbs on top of the truck and Negan goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
that was genuinely one of my favourite lines in the episode.
Literally.
Because I love that they're being loose with the language now. Because, like, I don't want them to be like, fuck every line.
Yeah. Like, the Negan speech, the way it is in the show, is fine.
It's fine. They didn't need all the fucking...
No.
Like, it's like, fine in the comics, but if you hear it out loud, it does get a little bit like... Ugh. But it's like the end of last episode when it was like, time to fuck shit up. That line was originally meant to be time to mess things up.
Yeah. Because in season 4, maybe? 4, when they get to Terminus and Rick's like, they're fucking with the wrong people. They had to change it to messing. But on my DVD it's fucking.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a great moment.
I'm glad that they could just...
Yeah. And like, I thought in this episode when he went, "What the fuck?" If he went, "What the hell?" They would have had the same sort of... And I think they realised that is like, with these kind of reactions, you do need a word like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, there's not really much else to talk about. But
let's talk about my theory.
Let's talk about your theory. Yeah.
Right, basically, before the episode happened, like last night, I messaged Ethan with my theory of that I think, because I knew that Judith was going to get shot, but I didn't see the whole thing. I thought that Judith would be shot, and then next week will be a Tyrese kind of episode for Judith's storyline, where people come back, like Carl, Michonne.
If they brought Carl back.
Yeah. Like,
Rick and Michonne I'm prepared for. I'm not prepared for Carl.
Yeah. And,
if they brought Laurie back, and she got to meet her mum.
Yeah.
Exactly. No! I would cry!
Right? And then, the episode happens, she gets shot, and then she calls Daryl Dad. Which is why I'm thinking maybe she's
seeing things.
She's seeing things.
Oh.
And they kept talking about Laurie, Carl, Rick and Michonne in this episode. They kept bringing them up.
They surprisingly didn't bring up Laurie.
No, they did. She brings it up at the beginning.
Oh, she does. Yeah,
she
yeah,
says,
you're right.
And I quote, where is it?
What did you say?
"I never got to know my mum Laurie, but my brother Carl dreamed of the day where we would live in peace. My mum Michonne tried to hang up her sword, and my dad Rick was searching for mercy. And me, I guess I'm a Grimes too."
Do you know what? I will say this. I thought that the Judith things would get really cringy, but they've been very well written. Yeah. Like, they've been written very well.
I really like them.
But the last thing that
that's why Daryl was like, "I'll tell you all the stories of people from before," because he's gonna say it and she's gonna be like imagining it.
There is gonna be a fight next episode, and it's going to be, and I'm glad that the final fight is gonna involve walkers.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like No Way Out, but on a larger scale, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that.
There's way much more. There's way more at stake at this point.
I agree.
Because we know more of the characters now.
Almost definitely. And I think we've now got the problem of we've got one episode left. Nobody's died. A lot of people are gonna die. So let's do our final predictions. Who do we think is gonna die next episode?
Rosita.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. And the baby.
Yeah, I think the baby's dead.
At the same time. Judith.
Judith could go either way at this point.
Yeah, Lydia.
I think Lydia's gone.
Sorry.
I think Jerry's gonna die.
I think Jerry's gone. Yeah.
I think
Luke and
Pamela's gonna die.
Thingamabob, yeah.
I think Pamela's gonna die and Yumiko's gonna take over.
I think that Mercer might.
Mercer.
Or Max. That's what I'm thinking.
I think Max
because
will.
Max never got back to her house.
What do you mean?
Well, because they had the chat when he was driving off.
Yeah, but she was with Yumiko.
Now she's
She's with the group at the moment.
She's in high heels, in a little skirt dress, with a little shawl
I
on.
don't think Yumiko's going to die. I think Magna will.
Yeah.
And I think Kelly will. And Luke. Let's just kill them all off. Because they're all expendable.
Group, apart
Connie and Yumiko are the only ones that are not expendable.
Literally.
I'm just trying to think. I don't think Princess will die.
No.
Imagine Mercer dies and she has that moment with Mercer as he's dying. No! Stop.
King Ezekiel better not die.
No, I don't think King Ezekiel's going to die.
He's had way too many good conversations.
I don't think he's going to die. I think Jerry will, and I really want them to see each other again. I don't think I can end the show with Jerry and Ezekiel not seeing each other.
They haven't seen each other for ages as well.
Yeah, it's been since the start of this.
But Jerry did have a conversation this episode with Aaron and Lydia.
Oh, he did. Oh, fuck.
Mm.
Oh. So,
and then
yeah.
Gabriel and Rosita had their conversation. Mercer and Princess, Mercer and Max had their conversation.
Do you think Gabriel could potentially sacrifice himself for Rosita?
I don't think how he should. Because what I've seen is when she's jumping to the window and it's Eugene.
I wonder whether
Gabriel.
he jumps out of the window to distract the walkers. That could be interesting. Because I think they've done a very good job of leading me to believe that Rosita is going to die, which makes me think that she isn't going to die, because all of the shots are her climbing up the thing, or her jumping across some walkers. They've been and then Eugene and Gabriel being like. So they've led us to believe she's going to die, but I think somebody else.
Did you watch the making of Walking Dead season 11?
No.
It's on YouTube. Watch it.
Okay.
But basically, it's all of their saying bye, their last scenes, and them saying, and that's a wrap on you, and that's a wrap on you, and they all say how good it was. So sad. Me and my dad watched it last night, but Rosita's last scene is at the Commonwealth with Daryl.
Oh, we haven't seen that.
No.
Unless wait.
Well, it's dark and Daryl's there, but they might have shot it out of sequence.
I was going to say, could it be one of the... No, because I don't think she's had any.
Because Negan and Maggie's last scene is together, and then Carol... Well, that's when they wrapped.
Right.
Carol, someone, and Ezekiel is together as well.
Right, okay.
On a field. It's
interesting.
Really random. But again, it might just be
that's...
Whenever.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Sad. It's gonna be interesting. I'm glad that we're not gonna get any spoilers this week.
Yes, literally. Even though there is a clip that they posted.
Have they?
Yeah, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, but a clip's different to the entire episode being spoiled.
Rosita.
Oh.
So this might be a bit more on her just not jumping to the window.
Maybe. They still also need to find Coco.
Yeah, I thought they would have found her by now.
I thought they would have found her in this episode.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. There's just a lot that's going to happen in the next episode and I'm not ready for it. But thank you guys very much for watching. What?
Do you know where's Dog? Sorry, I'm going to bring it up.
Dog?
Dog's
Wasn't
dead.
he... No, he's at Alexandria. No, I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh.
Do you know who I think might have the baby?
Who?
We might have to have a little bit of sympathy for. Stephanie. Fate Max.
Oh yeah, where the fuck is she?
Yeah, exactly. And the only person that we know in Commonwealth, name-wise, is her.
Yeah, but why would Pamela give the baby to her?
I don't know.
Because wasn't she one of the people that...
Yeah, but maybe she just took it.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Because the only person we know in Commonwealth, apart from Pamela, is her.
Yeah, true.
Named.
Yeah.
Apart from Tommy, but I reckon Tommy's going to be in the hospital with him.
Oh, he's going to save Judith's life. Yeah.
So he's a bit busy.
Damn. Right. Well,
Anyway.
thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Keep on ranting. Bye.